Bradley Mountain has been defying conventional business wisdom for over a decade. And the crazy part is they didn't spend a single dollar on advertising for their first 6 years, purely relying on word of mouth to build their now thriving brand. Tyler, the founder, started by making bags with his mom using belts from his grandpa's wardrobe. When most brands chase rapid growth, Bradley Mountain deliberately chose to stay small and hands-on. They're crafting an entire lifestyle around adventure and community. While most brands chase growth at any cost, they chose authenticity and created something truly special in the process. If we had to describe Bradley Mountain, if you had to describe the brand and the company that you run and founded, Bradley Mountain, without describing a single product, if you were like, I'm not going to tell you what the product is, I'm not going to tell you what it even is that we do, but I'm just going to describe the company to you. How would you, in your own words, describe it to somebody without even mentioning a product?
Okay, that's cool.
It's a little different angle I wanted to pull in because you guys have an abundance of things, and I'm like, I want to pull it a little deeper going like, if you couldn't describe any of these things, what would you describe it like?
I would probably paint a picture.
Love
like
it. Do
a mountainscape in Sweden and just a bunch of people hanging out, having fun and making things.
Love it.
Having meaningful conversation and talking about how they came there, how they got there, where they're headed, and kind of like a touch point.
What is it about the Sweden part, and what is it about like the people coming together part for you? Like, because also we know that Bradley Mountain has this community aspect, which we'll get to, but like when you're describing it, you're going Sweden, but you're a SoCal guy. Like you're from Southern California. Yeah. You're like Sweden. We're not like talking beachfront, Malibu,
right
on the way. You're like, no, Sweden, somewhere in a Nordic country, and people are kind of gravitating there, finding their way there. What is it about that makes you think Bradley Mountain?
I think for me, the Sweden part, you can probably put in a number of different countries or places or things, but that's just a place I haven't been to.
Oh.
So it's this idea that it's uncharted area, uncharted territory.
Does that resonate with the Bradley Mountain brand? Is that like that?
100%. Yeah. Early on, we used to have this, like in our first store, we had this big chalkboard put up, and it just said, write your dream destination. And so we would have customers or friends or people come in and write down maybe it's Antarctica or my grandma's house, or it could be anything. But that was always like part of the DNA, taking it away from the apparel and away from the commerce experience, and really just giving people this chance to kind of like the goods are a vehicle for people to experience adventure, I guess.
Wow.
Especially in our modern day.
Yeah. So the adventure is at the center of all of that Bradley Mountain ethos. It's sitting inside, like, because you can see it when you look at aesthetically, all the out, but you could almost, if you're not careful, someone could quickly, who's not going to think, just go, oh, like it has like this outdoor element, but you're like, no, we literally want people to think about adventure. We want them to think about, and is there a specific part of adventure that your brand is like, we want this to like, we want you to go? Is it like that Uncharted things, or like is it just we want you to dream about going places?
It's totally about the person. So the mountain is just a metaphor.
Okay.
And so I'm actually way more interested in people's like personal growth, their ability to believe in themselves and try things, than I am about travel or actual like backpacking or fill in the blank, right? Adventure to me is like just this metaphor to live life to the fullest, use everything you have in your tool belt, and do something with it. And so that's the message behind the brand, and it's kind of painted with this, beautiful outdoor thing. Yeah, but it's not really about outdoors. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I love that, because it's in that same vein of what we're saying, where we're like, okay, if we were to talk about your brand and not talk about it from the perspective of the products and goods that you make, but there's this deeper message that those goods are a vehicle for. You're like, part of what you guys do is this community part. Like you guys, the way your retail store, which we'll get to a little bit more, but could you, in a nutshell, when you think community and because you'll hear people talk about brands go, we want to build community around for you, what do you mean when you say that?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of falling into it.
Okay.
So ever since I started, we've always thrown events. We've always brought people together, had little like concerts and stuff, but and done camping trips and whatnot.
All through your brand, like we're brand camping trips.
Yeah.
We're gonna like, okay.
Yeah.
So you have these activations where you're pulling people into adventure too. You're not just like selling goods. You're actually creating some momentum.
Yeah. I'd like to do it more, but
okay.
we've tested some things.
That's cool.
But like during COVID, we closed our store down and we were online only.
Okay.
And that kind of made me realize that we were missing a core part of like who we are as a brand. And so part of like moving to Tennessee and opening our store here was to get back to that like reality of interacting with people face to face, you know, selling people our goods, but also hearing their story, getting together, getting families together, and just creating a place for people to hang out in a safe way.
I heard you say one time, you had said we wanted our customers to be more than a data point for us. Like we wanted them to we wanted to know them.
Yeah.
And that's what drove your kind of retail kind of drive again to Columbia, Tennessee, where you're like, we want to know these people, which doesn't feel like the normal, like we're going to start a retail because we want to know our customer.
Right.
But for you, there's something there. What is that that drives you like that?
Well, so the product, if we go back to the product, you know, we're working with leather, American made canvas, and as many like high quality materials as we can use and find. Those things are going to make the product last longer. So yeah, that's a simple concept, right? Buy it once. It's going to be expensive, but it's going to last you forever. But in that, we are basically honoring the person's life after the purchase by creating the best thing we can. So we also offer free repairs, and the reason for that is not because it makes us more money. It actually doesn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like it's gonna cost you.
But what it does is it says to the customer, like, we've now come into this agreement where we built something for you, and we want it to enhance your life. And so there's something in that for me, and I don't know if I fully fleshed it out, which I think this is a fun, you know.
The amount of times we have that kind of moment with our guests where they're like, I didn't think about it. I haven't really thought that deep about this thing yet or in a while. And so we're like, yes, let's pull it out.
Yeah,
let's have
it's
that
cool
conversation.
because, it's usually like, what's your story? You know? But I think that there's something there with people and watching something age with time, whether it's a piece of leather, wallet, or you know, your bag or your
you didn't pick
jeans
cheap materials. You didn't pick easy access materials either.
No.
It's kind of like, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of like, sounds like you like hard.
It's so hard.
And you kind of, I'm like, this dude likes the heart of it. He likes the, like, that it takes some grit to do the stuff that they do, that it's not easily manufactured, that it's not quickly assembled, but that there's some actual, like, person on the other side making this and sweating to make it.
Yeah.
Like, or I actually have to put my hands to this.
Yeah. I know. I think a little side note on that is I'm constantly looking in the mirror, mentally looking in the mirror, like, why did I pick this? This is so hard. You know, this stuff is really, it's hard to make profit. It's hard to, you know, it's just a challenging.
What's the hard, like, if you could describe the hard that, like, others could be in the grind with you in whatever industry they're in, but for you, what is the hard when you're like, this is the thing that's hard for me?
Probably, I mean, a lot of it has been figuring out how to make this a viable business, because started I was making wallets in my garage. I had no overhead. Yeah. And then, you know, slowly like raising the prices to a point where I could actually make a little bit of a living and then quit my job and stuff like that. But it's been, and that part was really fun and really exciting. And it's all been fun. Actually, no. It's all been exciting. Yes. It hasn't all been fun. There's hard stuff to running a business. Yeah. And creating a brand that says something more than just the thing you're buying. Yeah. You know, because
do you have to wrestle with that? Do you ever find yourself like having to get back to your North Star?
Absolutely.
And what does that look like?
Well, like one thing, I was talking to Jordan about this the other day. One thing that we're kind of experiencing is like hitting this ceiling, and constantly as a business owner, you're constantly going through this question of, do I scale to the next rung, or do we break the ceiling, or do we take what we have now and steward it and just like enjoy it, make it better, make it sweeter, whatever.
Is it like is it safe to say that there's this allure of like I need to grow?
Yeah.
That's kind of like both. You're trying to assess, is it healthy to think like this, or do I need to like not think like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So there was a point in like 2016 where I was working with a brand rep that we had brought on, and he was helping me grow. He's like, we can get your stuff into this store and this store and this store. You know, we can scale it. We can double your whatever.
Yeah.
And I just felt this weird like resistance to that, because I knew that was going to change my life. It was going to take me from being a maker to a logistics guy.
Whoa.
Or at least someone that oversees logistics.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't know if like I would make more money. I'd have more people under me. We would have probably a bigger audience.
Yeah.
We would need to. And it was this kind of crossroads for me of like, and I was like, you know what? I actually think I'm good. And I kind of took this sidestep and kept running my brand out of pocket, like grassroots, just grinding, but enjoying it and having a ton of freedom in my creative decisions. And for me, this brand has always been a lifestyle choice. It's like, if I'm going to take on the risk of the financial burden and the payroll and taking care of people's, giving people their paycheck, like that's hard to do.
Yeah. It's a big responsibility.
But if I'm going to get rid of the fun part, I might as well go do something else.
Wow.
So that was, for me, it's always been like, how can I make sure to maintain the lifestyle in my job that I love? And part of that is making goods and like designing. And
You're actively still making goods.
Yep. And I shouldn't be. From like a
like from
team perspective, it's probably not.
Just from a actual to better workflow, probably I shouldn't be doing this.
Yes. But I still get in there. I'm gonna sew this afternoon some bags.
I love it.
But there's also the design side of it, where like yesterday I got in really early. I was the only one in there, and I put some music on, and it was like I was back in that first garage. And it's just, I need that. I enjoy that.
I'm gonna ask you about something there, because when someone goes to Bradley Mountains, the store in Columbia, there's so many brand touch points, and everything is so dialed and intentional. From the little moment of like fragrance on this shelf, coffee beans on this shelf, and at first glance you might go, oh, this is like a retail store that's carrying products from a variety of brands,
right.
And they've positioned all these brands well. But then you look and it says Bradley Mountain on the label. And then you look and you're like, that's a candle. I wonder what company this candle is. It says Bradley Mountain on the candle.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to look at this coffee bag. I wonder is this someone from like Portland and he's bringing a coffee? It says Bradley Mountain on the coffee bag. You're like, damn. You're like, this dude, these guys, they are making everything.
Yeah.
What, for you, why are you doing that? Like, why are you going,
yeah.
We're not just going to outsource fragrance. If we want to do it, we're going to make it, and we're going to make the labels. We're going to design, like you're saying, you're getting in the chair and you're still designing on a brand that's doing really well and growing, that you could easily outsource so much stuff.
Yeah.
And not even have it outsourced to somebody else on my team did it. Like outsourced to you don't even touch it.
White label, whatever.
Yeah, white labeled everybody else's stuff.
Well, you're touching on something that means a lot to me.
Okay.
Which is experimentation is like a big word for me. And it's kind of using this brand, which I would say is a vehicle.
Okay.
A brand is a vehicle for people to touch and to remember and to check back in on. They're watching it, and it's this like unit. But people do different things with different brands. Some people go super vertical, and they pick one product, and they're like, we make razors.
Yeah.
And it's like the Dollar Shave Club model, and they do one thing, and they go huge. Really cool. But to me, that type of business, it's probably very profitable. It provides for a lot of people. You can give people a lot of jobs. but that's not exciting to me, because that to me becomes a logistics company.
Okay.
It's ad spend, it's conversion, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
It's a numbers game. It's just math at that point.
Yep. And they're providing a service.
Yeah.
No shade to that.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, falling that on the side and just going as wide as possible.
Okay.
It is super complicated. It is.
Does it drain you?
No,
Doesn't.
I love it.
It's the idea that you've got 18 different SKUs. I don't know how many SKUs you actually have.
Like 600. Yeah.
I love it. You're like, some of these things don't sell at all, and some of them do.
Yeah.
Have you had to kill products, or you're just like, we got to kill that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And does it hurt?
No, not anymore.
Not. What do you, not anymore? It did at one point.
Yeah. So there was like a period where, I would launch something and I thought it was this,
this is it.
This is what I'm saying to the world today.
Yeah. You're like, I am proud of this, and get ready, world. You are gonna love this.
Yes. And then crickets. Nobody buys it. But I'm okay with that now.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to throw things at the wall every day, I have to be okay with a lot of it not sticking. And for me, that's fun.
Yeah.
I get to experiment, and a lot of times I find something really cool in there. I'd say 1 out of every 10 things we do is huge.
Okay.
And
does it frustrate your team?
I think they enjoy it.
They enjoy it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We like the diversity of this, the kind of variety, creative energy, that something new. Okay. Yeah. So let me show you a picture of something. I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to give me your kind of I want you to describe, when I give it to you, the photo, I want you to describe what the photo is, because no one knows what this is.
It's going to be like an ink blot thing?
Yeah, no. No, you know this photo.
Okay.
You know this photo through and through, but I actually want you to look at it and tell us what you feel when you see this photo, and then what comes to your mind after you feel it. What's coming to mind when you see this?
Okay. That's cool.
So tell people,
is this my first? Was this the first post?
That's the very first post from Bradley Mountain. It's not even Instagram; it's a screenshot.
How long did it take you guys to get down there? That's funny.
I don't know how long. It took us a minute.
Photos.
It took us a minute.
That's cool.
So the very first photo of Bradley Mountain's Instagram account, and it's a photo of.
Can I see? Keep looking.
Yeah, of course.
That's cool.
Did something happen for you viscerally there in that moment?
Yeah. This is cool because this is a picture of the first 5 items that I made. The bag I made with my mom, we took some belts from my grandpa's wardrobe. He was getting rid of them, and we used those to make the straps. And then my mom helped me sew the bag together, and I drew it and kind of pieced it together. But she's the one that taught me how to sew. So that part was cool. And then, I made a watch strap for some watch I had, and a wallet, and then 2 journals. But I love that I posted a picture that, there's nothing else besides what's in this photo that existed beyond that. So, but that was 2012. That's when I started the business. And so it's really cool to, that just takes me back to the unknown and the adventure of it all. And
is anything still in the Bradley Mountain world from that photo? Is there anything that's
not directly?
But is there call outs of things you're we still do this?
The bag, it probably no one would know this, but that bag essentially evolved into the Biographer, which was our first bag. But it also has kind of elements of the Wilder, which is our best-selling bag.
Okay.
So, some of that.
Yeah.
Just early.
Yeah.
Kind of early.
Yeah.
Ethos.
And so for you, and one of the questions that we wanted to ask you was so this Instagram post, we see where you started. Is there anything that from those early days you're this really stuck with me throughout the history of this brand? I won't even feed. I'll ask was there anything that you're when I think about those early days of those few products of me making that with my mom, is there anything that you would go, this has stuck with Bradley Mountain, whether it be a product or a mindset, whatever it may be?
Yeah, there was one time, this was my this was probably my first shop that I had my own garage. I was renting with some college roommates, and I asked them if I could pay a little extra to take over the garage. So I had this is more of a memory than anything, but it gets to something I think really important. I had bought an industrial sewing machine, and I was just learning how to sew, and I was buying materials from Joann's Fabric and different websites and trying to just figure out like,
Yeah.
how do I even do this? Like zero
So
training.
no, I was gonna say no history in bag making. Like
No.
this is you just being like, I'm gonna just go and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're
You're not a graduate from FITM going
No.
over here going, I'm going to start my own line now. I've graduated from design school and I'm fashion school and I'm ready to start my line. You're like, nah, I'm
correct. I was a sociology major at Point Loma.
I love it.
And I actually just didn't like the classroom. And so I would kind of leave the campus and then go like work on leather goods. And I just hated school. I mean,
Wow.
I got through it.
You got through. You're like,
but like
endured it.
I was just not a academic guy. So this was sort of my like therapeutic release, I guess.
Okay.
But anyway, I was trying to learn how to make this bag. I had this idea for a bag that is now the biographer bag. It has like a leather bottom attached, and I was using, instead of canvas, I was using like felt and like wool because I didn't know anything about fabrics.
Okay.
And so I'm like stitching it, and the thread tension was wrong, and I just kept getting this machine jammed. And I'm like on YouTube, and I'm trying to call my mom, FaceTime my mom, and ask her because she knows how to sew from long distance. I'm like, Mom, what's going on with the machine? And I was putting all the money I had into materials, and there was this one moment where I had the garage door open. And I had been in there all day, and I made this bag that was just horrible. It was like, it was just disgusting, and it wasn't what I was going for. It didn't land, and I threw it. I like took the bag and just threw it out into the street. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And it was kind of this inner challenge for me of like, the thing I'm trying to do is hard.
Yeah.
Especially with no training.
Yeah. But it was almost like a pick your heart a little bit because you're like, school's hard and I hate it. Yeah. Like
oh,
this is hard too. But
yeah.
But there was something I was like, no, but you're going to find something here.
Yeah. And there was this turning point for me of like, no one's asking me to do this. Like I don't have any customers at this point. My parents are like, that's cool. But like, they're, no one's saying like, you got to start a business. And so it was really this choice of like, this is going to be a long, hard adventure for me of like designing goods and releasing them. And I was like, all right, let's try it. And so I went and got it, threw it in the trash, and then started over, made a new one. And slowly 5 or 6 iterations later, like I had a bag that I could actually wear. And that was the first bag I had made on my own without anyone's help. And then I just slowly learned how to like develop patterns, which materials to choose, how to fix my own sewing machine.
Why are you picking those wax canvas, like leather good materials? Like why go that route?
For me at the time, like I didn't have any access to great outdoor gear. Okay. Like the stuff that I was aware of, sure, like Filson existed and stuff, but they weren't really well known, at least to me.
Yeah.
There was just this kind of curiosity for, and that's why I go back to like Sweden and like a lot of these old European countries. They have like local bag makers and local leather shops that are still doing this stuff. Since 7 generations ago, and so there's kind of this like extreme boutique thing where they're doing the highest level work and nobody knows about it.
Wow.
And I just find that really curious.
You're like, I'm
and
into
cool.
that. Yeah.
And so material wise, wax canvas, I had just for the first time been exposed to, and I was like, this stuff is cool. It naturally, it was designed to replace sailcloth to prevent water from weighing down sails.
Is it more expensive than other fabrics?
Yes. Yeah. It's very expensive.
But did you come to a moment where you're like, I could go cheaper, but I'm not?
Yeah, there was just this, it never was about
It wasn't even
cost.
about the cost of it. You're like, this is
I
the
want to
material.
make something new that for me, I hadn't seen before.
Okay.
And now come to find myself in this industry, that I had no idea that existed. And I think awareness has grown, and as people have become a little more consumer conscious, like people are looking for well-made goods, and they want to know where it was made, and how long it's going to last them. But
so, okay, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions about the brand, and then I'm going to ask you about the brand moving from California to Tennessee. Now, when you're building this brand, what was one of the most unexpected parts of it, like for you? Like building this brand, what was like something you either found that was unexpected, that was fulfilling, or unexpected, and you're like, I didn't anticipate this, and this was hard, and I had to figure that out. Like, what was something you just didn't have in it wasn't on your bingo card, but you're like,
yeah,
that's great, or that was really freaking hard, and I had to figure it out.
Yeah. I'll start with the sad or the negative. Literally every day, there's something that you're like, as a business owner, that you're like, oh, I didn't know I had to do that, or I didn't know I needed to know how to do that.
Yeah. So there's always
whether
something.
That's jumping through hoops with setting up your business with the government, banking, applying for loans, just all that. I don't want to call it BS because it's not BS.
Yeah, but
like it feels like it's taking something away from the creative side. Yeah. And I've just had to learn how to just put on my belt and just do it.
Do you think that's the reason a lot of people don't continue?
Absolutely. 100%.
They're just like, I don't want to do the grind like that. And they view it like you said, I can't be creative anymore, therefore I don't want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, which is okay. Yeah. Maybe that's art to them.
Yeah. It's true.
But turning your art into a business is tricky.
Yeah.
And if you don't have like a angel investor or someone alongside you, a brother or sister, like parent that is gonna, and my parents are a great resource to me, but which I'll get to more. But a lot of it's just been, you get hit with a letter or something happens and you're like, okay, this is part of it now. And there have been so many times where I'm like, I don't know if this is worth it. Wow. There was a time when I had a few too many employees, probably for the size we were at. I was like hiring all my friends, and
which comes with sometimes great things and headaches.
Yeah, I mean we were having a great time. Yeah. But I was looking at the bills, and it was like I was borrowing cash. I was running my credit cards up, and I got in a bind. Okay. And it really that moment like chiseled me into the man I am today in terms of finances, where I've had to just get really savvy, and I still have a lot to learn, but like it allowed me to get from that horrible place to now where I understand like borrowing money from a business perspective and strategy and annual, like the annual picture of everything. Because we are heavily, like most of our income comes in at the end of the year. And so it's like it's a long game. And so, but that moment pushed me to get to where I am. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is like getting back on the horse and just, it's like those things are constantly unexpected. Moving to Tennessee was like a whole nother thing. I had to get a new EIN number. Okay. I mean, there's just tons of stuff that
that you go like, hey, this is actually what it means to take, like you said, your art, make it a business. And if I'm in it for that, this is just part of the process.
I just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the fun part. Yeah. Just the customer loyalty is like insane. We don't do any ad spend. Okay. We haven't for probably 6 years. Wow. Which is rare.
Yeah,
for an e-commerce business. We are full like word of mouth, grassroots.
And when you say that really really quick, and we'll focus here for a little bit, and then we'll hit a little bit of the story of the traveling of the company from one place to another. When you say rare for an e-commerce company, you have both a retail expression and e-commerce, but the e-commerce, like what is the ratio there? What are we actually dealing with? Like, so that we can get an actual, kind of a little bit accurate picture when someone's thinking of, oh, how does their brick and mortar even work? How do they, cause you're in a really unique space in Tennessee, but like, is it that it's a 50-50 split for you guys, e-commerce to retail? Like what?
Yeah. So we moved here with like the retail business being our vehicle to even come out here. Okay. So e-commerce was 100% before we came here.
Because the pandemic shifted you guys to 100% e-commerce?
Yep. Okay. And then we opened our store and it's probably shifted to like 70-30. Okay. The store's done really well. We're in, for those of the listeners who aren't local, we're in Columbia, Tennessee, which is the small,
I'm like, we'll get into that.
Like, it's cool. It's small growing town. We love it. But yeah, that's been kind of an incredible joy to watch us open our doors, and it's just flooded with people.
I mean, it's hard to think of Columbia and not think of Bradley Mountain. Like those two are starting to become synonymous for a lot of people. Okay, so let's dive into that part of it right now. So you're San Diego, Orange County. Where were you living when you started Bradley Mountain?
In San Diego.
Okay, so you go San Diego to Columbia, Tennessee, which probably even people who know about Tennessee and Nashville, they know Nashville, they know Franklin, and then if they're kind of like investment minded, they might know Columbia,
right?
Because they're talking to other investors and they're like, where do you want to
it's kind of the
invest?
next ring.
Yeah, the next place they want to go. But you're like, we're going to pick Columbia. And you said something to me one day. You're like, because there's not a lot of noise there or something like that. And I was like, that is fascinating. Why the heck did you pick Columbia?
Yeah.
It's like, and for context for people, Columbia is about an hour and some change from Nashville.
Yep.
And Franklin is about 40 minutes-ish.
Yep. That's about right.
If you don't hit the Spring Hill traffic, but so you're in a developing city.
Yeah, and it really was getting back to that lifestyle piece for me of like, I want to live close to my job.
Okay.
I want to walk my dog and hang out with my daughter, and the commute. I'm not a commute guy, and so that was an element of that. Okay. But also, my wife and I moved here. So my wife is now a huge part of the company.
Okay.
She runs the front of house.
All right.
And so her and our manager take care of all that.
When you say front of house, people have no idea what that retail looks like. Because your retail was before, you were doing stuff in retail before it was even like a trend for retail to combine cafes into the retail. Like that's what you started with almost. If not.
We opened with the coffee shop. Yeah. So my wife deserves to be here. I mean, she's a huge part of it now. We met after I had started the company, but yeah, she makes it look beautiful. She helps run events. She's a big part of the feel of the place.
We're going to get her on the next episode of the podcast, and then we're going to reference her up against you and go, tell us how this business actually runs.
Yeah. But she keeps me grounded. That's for sure. I want to like fly off into the sky, but yeah, so you have the retail. Again? Your retail experience is different than other retail that makes goods, but you have like a whole restaurant basically functioning inside of your retail space. Yeah, and that was a huge inspiration to Moniker actually, who a friend of mine, Ryan Sisson, started a really cool coffee shop in San Diego, coffee retail bar, and I was like, this is cool.
It was incredible when I saw it for the first time. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, so tons of credit to them for just even inspiring me to think that way. But yeah, like Columbia has some cool spots. It has some anchors. Yeah. But there was room for more, and we wanted to move to a city that, like you said, there was less noise as far as like, not noise in the audible sense, but the amount of businesses competing for like attention and trying to be the best and trying to be, if you go to
some white space,
12 South. Yeah, exactly. 12 South in Nashville is like, it's just popping off and it's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah. Highly competitive.
Super competitive. Yeah,
like
exactly.
You're dealing with a totally different animal at that point.
Yeah. And that's great. I mean, I'd love to have a shop there
I was like, and Bradley Mountain at this point could compete in that market.
That would be very fun. Yeah. But for us, it was like, let's go take the next step as a family in our business to keep doing what we're doing, level it up, but not like blow the lid off too far to where we're super stressed out. We're commuting. We're in a new place. It was kind of this cool like way to put it all together and have our family close to it. We love Columbia. We love the square. And it's just like this cool like small town feel. So
in Columbia, you guys do some stuff because the way your store is situated, it kind of has like, I remember the first time I went to Bradley Mountain, it's actually become a core memory for me in Tennessee moving because it was around the holidays. I'd gone to Bradley Mountain for the first time. I'd heard about it. I was like, all right, we're going to go. Let's go check it out. Family goes, kids, mom and dad, we all go down to check it out. And there's a Christmas tree lot happening, but it's not like a Christmas tree lot like you would think. Like it was almost like a boutique one, like curated trees, like more natural looking trees.
Yeah, they were all cut down in Canada or something.
Yeah, like something like freshly cut where you're like, these people are not doing the big truck of 300 trees in the middle of the Costco parking lot. Yeah. But then there was also these fire pits stationed around. And then you got Bradley Mountain that's hustling and bustling with this kind of like warm energy of like, hey, come get a drink, take your drink out. Like there's all this energy. How are you guys doing that? And what is the kind of driver of that kind of stuff? Like, what's the reason you even think about doing that for Bradley Mountain? Because you could just be like, hey, we serve coffee and we're good. Like, we're fine. We have a retail, but you guys do more than that.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to that. The location is really cool. The doors open and there's the grass and there's a big deck that we built.
You do have a beautiful spot.
We really wanted that. We didn't want the like shotgun style retail where there's doors in the front and it goes way back and there's nothing. That's kind of how like the main street shops are.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Really cool stuff. But like we wanted a place where we wanted it to feel like a campus.
Okay.
And so,
which it does feel. And now that you say that, that's like you do get that vibe there.
Yeah, and we wanted it to be a destination.
Okay.
So rather than kind of getting on the main street, let's just do something over here, and let's create a place where people can park and walk around and have a moment.
Wow.
And that is something that's lacking in this area. I feel like is just like a place you can have a beer or a coffee and like chill with your kids. Yeah. There's just not a lot of that.
Because everybody's maximizing space. Like they're going, we could put another store here and make more money. You're like, yeah, we're going to keep the grass.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
We're not going to throw another store here. We're going to keep the grass because it does something. It breathes. Yeah. It's very true.
And then another thing, when you walk into the store, we want people to look around and be curious. So that we're putting things everywhere. We have like photos of our grandparents in there.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've got like canoes on the ceiling and stuff. But
but the canoes on the ceiling, I want to call it out, like, because it's just, I love it so much from a brand perspective. The canoes on the ceiling is this a Bradley Mountain like canoe team or something?
Yeah, like outdoor club or canoe
like
club.
You're not just throwing up a canoe. You're like, I'm going to spend a little bit more time and throw a custom branded thing that doesn't even exist. There's no canoe club to my knowledge.
There's not.
But you're like, I'm going to put it on there. Why are you doing that? Like, just throw the canoe up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It is that kind of extra attention to curiosity. It's always like pulling people in. Like, man, what if there was a canoe club?
Yeah.
Like, that would be sick. That'd be so
like,
fun.
I want a canoe club.
Yeah, exactly.
Can someone start a canoe club?
Yeah. Everything we do is like this nod to this world that may or may not exist, right? It's the summer camp you went to as a kid. It's the Boy Scout trip, or it's this trip you hope to go on that you're exploring what's around the corner. And it's all just a metaphor. Yeah. It's just all a metaphor for, oh, you haven't seen that yet. And we want to pick things in the store that people haven't seen before. We're constantly bringing in new little things here and there. And that's why we keep designing. We keep creating new things. We keep the core stuff and we improve it. But there's always, like the other day, I brought in a bunch of Palo Santo, like, those wood sticks you can burn.
Yeah.
Because I just love the smell of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should make like a leather tray for it that like keeps it off the ground, and then the ashes go into the leather so it doesn't get on your table. And I made it in like 5 minutes, and it was just like this fun little just I don't want to feel like I've done everything. I want to keep trying new things and having fun with it.
How do you run your team? Like how does that work? Like, do you guys have a weekly staff meeting, a cadence, no. You're like, nah, dude. Like, don't put me in that rhythm. Yeah. Get out of here.
We have like zero meetings.
Okay, I love it. So no meetings over at Bradley Mountain.
There's two kind of things. There's a cafe team, which we have logistics meetings. We have trainings. We have team hangouts. Like,
you guys also serve like great natural wines and beer and all that. And that's also makes you guys I think your burritos have duck eggs.
They used to. We had to switch vendors. Yeah, that was fun, But yeah, we make like all of our own syrups in-house for the coffees and stuff. We have a really good food program. Yeah. And Caitlin, our manager, does all that.
Okay.
So we have like, meetings that are necessary to like run a cafe and get on the same page. But I'm really big on just being around. And so it's me and the back of house team, which is like, right now it's myself, Will, and TJ doing the design.
Okay.
And then we have a sew shop in San Diego.
And the roaster's there too.
And then our roaster, Colton, he's back there with us.
On bags you designed. Again, it's like every touch point has you in there somewhere.
Yeah, which, some of that's not on purpose. It's just how it is.
Yeah. No, I get it. When you're like, I can do this, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But the I've found that, first of all, meetings are usually a waste of time. At least like weekly.
Yeah.
You know, I'll call a meeting if it's like, guys, let's get on the same page here.
Yeah.
But it's usually just a call out like that. It's a lot of it's just being around each other, building a relationship, and then it's like, hey, you guys good? You need help?
Do these leather makers come to you with knowledge on making bags? Like, I'm like, where are you finding all these craftsmen?
We, for a long time, would just train up people from scratch. TJ, who's like my main production manager now, he and I lived together, and we were both doing our own brands. He was doing his own leather goods company. I was starting Bradley Mountain.
Okay.
And so he's self-trained as well. But I've known him forever, and now we get to work together.
Okay.
But yeah, we usually just train up in-house.
Okay.
It's really not that hard. It's just muscle memory and knowing the stuff. You could learn to do what we do in like 3 months.
Wow.
And then a lot of it's just having the tools and the design sense of creating something that people want. That I think is the harder part. But I was gonna say something good.
I interrupted you at some point.
No, this is all good.
So let me ask you this question. It may come back to your mind in there. When there's no team meetings. You're kind of like, you're big on everybody being in the same space.
I got it.
Got it. We found it.
It was, it's similar to like building trust, running, and this is a leadership angle more so, but everybody comes in whenever they want. So people, the cafe's got to open at 6.
The cafe's got to start at some point.
But the back of house, like my roaster makes his own schedule. TJ and Will both make their own schedule. And that's just something I shifted. I used to be like, ring the bell, turn the machines on, 8:30, let's go. And I've just shifted everything to be a little bit more like, dude, you're not a morning person. Like, come in at 9.
Yeah.
Will comes in before me and TJ, and he's like hitting the emails and taking care of customers really early, and then he goes home at 4 and hangs out with his family. So there's just, we don't have any like drastic things. Like we're together most of the day, but I think just creating a culture in the shop that feels, it's not dictated. It's like I'm gonna get in and get my stuff done. Yeah. Each person feels the ownership.
As long as you, like, even a phrase we say, as long as you get the job done, I actually don't care when you do it. Yeah. Like, just get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been a really cool culture shift for us as a shop. And then there's just a ton of pride. Like, they literally walk around on the weekends just telling people about it. And it's just such a gift to have. I mean, they're like 2 of my best friends as well, which is really special. Cool. And then, and then we have a team of sewers in California that are highly experienced. They've been doing it forever, that do quite a bit of stuff.
So let me ask you this final question here. Let's wrap us up with this. Yeah. If you had to describe the future of where you're going as a brand, where are you going? Like, you're this adventure. We're going into the unknown. There's even for us, like, some of our energy is like refuse to settle. Like, even our team, like, our ethos is like, hey, let's pioneer, let's refuse to settle, let's keep looking on the horizon. What's next? You have a similar kind of heart. Is that like, what's next for Bradley Mountain, like, as a brand? What are you thinking?
So, we just took over our sewing factory in California. That was like a kind of a thing we posted about it a couple of weeks ago. So that's opening doors to grow our apparel line. So we're starting to do pants. We're going to get into some women's chore coats and stuff. And probably
when you say you took over, meaning like you bought out a company that was manufacturing it for you?
Yes. Okay. Yep. We had been working. We were like their main client for a little while, a couple of years, and we took over recently. Okay. So that's expanding our abilities a lot. We still make bags in Tennessee, but we also have our team in California. So I think apparel, like growing that very selectively and carefully, we're going to grow that. It's opening up opportunities for brand partnerships and manufacturing for others as well. Okay. So we're really leaning into like, this is where you get your stuff made in America.
Oh, let's go. So you guys are almost going to start becoming your own manufacturing for other brands.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're already starting to do that, which is really cool. And kind of using what we know in terms of design to help uplift other brands. give them really special things, or, allow them
Yeah.
to sell those. And then, so there's kind of two prongs. There's the manufacturing side and then the hospitality side. So that's back to the people, giving people memorable experiences that are going to change their life for the better. And so our hope would be someday to kind of get into like hotel and like stays. So having like either
In Colombia or somewhere else?
I don't know.
Oh, you're like, I don't know, man. I'm going to Sweden.
We'll see. We'll see. We're not working on this, but I think if we were to extrapolate like who we are as people, my wife and I, on our passions, we just love getting people together. So whether that's like music venue, bar, restaurant, and like a small boutique hotel type thing, like that would be super fun.
What's cool about what you're saying here, and we'll wrap up here, is because I heard Seth Godin say this one time. He was talking about how to know if somebody has a brand or doesn't have a brand. He's like, he said something.
I want to know.
Yeah, no, you do, because of the way he describes it. He goes, if Hyatt Hotels decided to make a sneaker, you would have no idea what that sneaker would look like or feel like or be like. You wouldn't know what the campaigns would look like at all, because Hyatt doesn't have a brand. But if Nike decided to make a hotel, you have a great sense of what that hotel is going to be like.
That's cool.
If Bradley Mountain opened a hotel, you know exactly what that hotel is going to be like, what it's going to feel like, what that experience is going to be like, because you've harnessed that. You've harnessed that ability to go, we understand how to exchange this pairing of who we are with some kind of feeling, and you guys have done that. So well done, man.
Thank
well
you.
done.
That means so much.
And thanks for coming on and talking with us, bro. I love it.
Yeah, thanks for these questions. This was a good time.